It says live right here though, like that shit is bugging out. You could have just been Facebook.
All right, we live on Facebook,
We live everywhere.
YouTube. Perfect. Good evening, everybody. This is Good evening, everybody. This is Unity Meets Diversity, El Igualito's very own podcast. We got an interesting topic for today. I'm your host, Kimbo Obaye, and joining me,
Side of my beat.
Su amiga aquí, Haicho, Miro de a la orden.
Grigé.
and we are Unity Meets Diversity. For today's topic, we're actually going to be talking about something that I think is very important for everybody, and that is actually wellness and self-care. So I don't think that a lot of people realize how important that is actually for everyone. So to start it off, Sarama B,
Wellness and self-care. Um, man, I like to meditate. Personally, I like to meditate. Um, it's a very useful tool for your mind to help you learn how to focus. It also releases serotonin, which helps you out with everything in your body, regulating your sleep, your mood, your emotions, your depression. And meditation by itself it helps you really help you process your emotions and figure yourself out. Besides that, I like to work out because working out actually releases dopamine, which is like the reward chemical. It makes you feel good when you accomplish something. And one that I didn't mention earlier, for those of y'all didn't know, this is take three. Um, I actually like to spend time with my kids because spending time with someone that you have an affection with, right? Like it could be anybody, family member, or a significant other. That actually releases if I'm not mistaken, it's oxytocin, and that's the love chemical, which makes you feel that those little goody goody feels,
those little butterflies.
those little butterflies in your stomach. Exactly. That makes you appreciate stuff and all of that, gives you perspective on life and things like that. So those are the three things that I really like to do. I like to meditate, I like to work out, and I like to spend time with my kids. That's my wellness and my self-care.
Okay, so that's your wellness and self-care.
Yeah, that's what I do for myself.
Okay, got it. So what is it? What do you like? What is wellness and self-care to you exactly? Like, what do you how would in definition, what is it to you?
So I mean, wellness and self-care is really just doing the things that are going to help you deal with this world, man. I mean, this life, everybody has their ups and downs, their obstacles, their challenges, right? Like every day it doesn't matter. Every day there's always something. You know what I mean? And so when you have that time to yourself, you need to make sure that you do things, proper things, to help you regulate yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to give yourself that time to process whatever happened throughout your day, process your emotions, process how you feel. You heal your trauma. Trauma can happen today, tomorrow, yesterday, in a year, whatever, right?
Absolutely.
So wellness and self-care to me is like making sure that you take the time out to take care of yourself, because if you're not good, nobody around you is going to be good. So you got to make sure that you put yourself first sometimes. You got to prioritize yourself.
Absolutely. Definitely. All right. What about you, Haisha? Tell me what is wellness and self-care to you?
Like I said earlier, taking care of myself. That is a plus. I started drinking the mushroom coffee and it kept me very mellow.
It's really good.
Yes, really good. The taste is like depends what I put there, but the mushroom coffee makes me feel mellow. Not like everything that go through in life by life, minute by minute, either in my house or at work. It kept me nice. Other than that, I like to take care of myself. I like to go do my nails, my feet, my hair, my eyebrows, to make sure that I feel good.
Yeah, you
I
like to
like,
pamper yourself.
yeah, I like to meditate. I like to talk to myself a lot, you know. And as a mental health technician, I learned how to cope with a lot of my issues and a lot of my problems.
Mm.
And I don't like to talk about my problem because if I don't have a solution, why should I talk about them? And when I feel that I'm gonna go to a stress or depression, I just put music and just go day by day. And this is a very interesting subject, a topic because it's a lot of people out there that need to hear how to cope with their problems and how to take care of themselves,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you could see somebody when somebody going through a depression or stress because you see how they hygiene, how they dressing, how they looking, if they
Mhm.
sleeping a lot or not. So something something that I'm doing could help you, and something that you're doing could help me.
Well, some of the happiest people in the world are hobos. So we can't
Well,
really go with like the
I mean,
self-image thing
Yeah.
there.
I mean, they don't have a care in the world, right?
They don't have a care in the world.
They don't have to do, they don't have to pay the bills or nothing. So it's fine. But we all have different ways to
Yeah, to go
take
about
care of
it.
ourselves.
All right, Jay, what do you think?
Um, but this subject right here is I take it really personal for someone who goes through a lot of mental health issues and stuff like that. But I'm still learning my ways of how to cope and how to deal and express and so forth. I'm still like a person who bottles everything up and stuff. But apparently I talk too much. But I don't know. I don't know. But the way I deal with self care is I take cold showers. For some reason, it helped with my anxiety, and it kind of blocks out my mind because I'm so focused on like not shivering so much in the shower. So I'm like thinking about that instead of everything else. But it also keeps my skin nice and tight. I don't want to get wrinkly too early in life. I'm I'm not ready for that. But other than that, I like to spend time alone. I tend to lock myself in the room a lot, and that's like not so good for me. But I tend to do that. And for mental health, like I said, I'm still learning, but I've noticed my patterns when I am going to go through a depression episode. For some reason, I tend to get moody. From moody, I get really emotional and I cry a lot, and then the sleeping, excessive sleeping kicks in, and down the hole I go from there. But
Yeah, it's definitely a sign of depression. I know that's like one of the most common ones, actually, the sleeping. People don't realize, they go, "Why am I sleeping so much?" But it's actually a sign of depression.
Yeah, it's your
And
body.
sometimes we just don't realize it. Our
Mhm.
body's just trying to shut down because it's like, I just don't want to deal with anything.
Mhm. It needs rest, deep rest.
But definitely, I agree with what you're saying.
I recommend cold showers. Yeah, I'm about to be 30 in like 2 3 years, and I look younger than that. So cold showers is the way.
There's actually a man. His name is Wim Hof. Wim Hof. Wymhof. He actually got very popular because he does cold showers in a therapeutic way. It his I think his story, if you could look it up to find out exact details, but if I remember correctly, he had I think it was two or three children. I think he lives
Oh
in like Austria or
yeah,
Holland or
I
something like
remember
that,
this
and his
story.
wife died
Yeah,
suddenly or something like that, and he was like supremely deeply depressed. He couldn't even be there for his kids. Like he was contemplating suicide, and I think one day, he was obviously trying to fight it, right? Because who wants to commit suicide when you have children or whatever? And I think one day he said he was like walking through like a frozen lake or something like that, and he fell through it by accident, and that the coldness and the survivability of that whole situation kind of made him completely forget about his worries and his depression. You know what I mean? And obviously he got out, and but that really hit him, and he was like, let me actually try that again. And he goes and he dumped into the water, and it does, it gives you like a sense of like your survivability, your survival instincts kick in.
yeah, like the fight or flight.
Yeah, exactly, like the fight or flight feel in you, and all these chemicals start kicking in, and you're like, you're not worried about anything, because when you healthy and everything is cool and you're in your room and you got your mind just jumping from thoughts to thoughts. Your mind can take you anywhere, but when you're in that moment of like, I gotta survive, I gotta take care of myself, that's when you start doing the heavy breathing with the cold showers. That's like your body trying to survive in that temperature, and it's like everything goes out the window at that point. You're just worried about where you at, what's happening, and surviving. So cold showers is actually a very good therapeutic way to help you out with mental instability, or whatever you're going through.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of good points right here. A lot of good points.
Yeah,
Um, so
nothing
to
new.
so to me, you know, the self care is actually we're in a day and age where there's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of people trying to find an escape in drugs. There's a lot of people that end up going into addiction because they got treated with drugs, right? And I mean, it's bad, right? There's a lot of bad things going on in the world. I mean, I know family members of mine that have actually passed away because they rather choose the drug than choose themselves.
Hmm.
And I've seen a lot of people overdose, young people. I mean, 19 years old. They were just, oh, I want to have a good time, or they were going through depression, whatever it was. They end up taking something they got in the street, and then they overdosed.
Yeah, yeah,
It's really sad. And the problem with nowadays is you don't know what they're putting in this stuff.
yeah. Word.
You know, and they're putting these weird chemicals and everything. So it's like nothing is safe at this point in time,
Word.
right?
They cutting it up, trying to make more.
So, self care to me is like a holistic approach, right? It's like a holistic approach of actually nurturing your body,
Hmm.
and there's certain exercises that we can do, right? Or there's certain I guess habits, if you want to call them, that people do that actually help them with that, and you handle the self care portion to good well being, right? Or
Yeah.
you feel good, your wellness, right? And that's because you found the way of blending your mental, your physical, you understand what I'm saying, and all these little different components that make you, right? And I think it's important for people to actually sit here and analyze what could work for them, because everybody has something different. you know for example, like I remember when we went to Puerto Rico, right? And it was funny because when we went into the beach,
Yeah.
and I see you just laying in the water. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? It's like he's never been in the water before. He's sitting here floating, and I'm like, yo, Sarama B, what are you like? You good? What are you doing? And he's like completely ignoring me. And then he like pops his head out, like, oh, what's going on? So then I'm like, you good? Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like, nah, man, I'm just relaxing.
Yo, that was super super therapeutic for me. Those beaches over there in Puerto Rico, it was amazing.
So, and it was as simple as just laying in the water
Yeah,
on your back, right? So
yeah,
then I do it. And then I catch myself doing the same thing as him. And we're literally sitting here. I'm like, I don't even want to swim. I just want to
yeah. Just want to
lay
drift.
like a log in the water, just
Yeah,
make myself one with the water,
yeah.
and just tune in, right? Tune into the waves,
The
tune
sky was
into the.
clear, was beautiful. It was like it was a it was like literally like fantasy. You know what I mean? Like it was just like for a moment there, I could forget about everything, and that's exactly what I was doing, just forgetting about everything.
And I felt the same way. And again, this is why I say that this is self-care. This is your
Hmm.
well-being.
Hmm.
And see, something as simple as that made all the difference, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't think about anything at that moment. Like,
Yeah.
it was not a care in my mind. I was just like, I'm tuned in. I'm tuning in. I'm trying to like meditate. I'm not worried about if the water's gonna go on my nose
Nothing.
nothing. You just
Surprisingly,
sitting
it
there.
didn't even happen,
No, it
right?
didn't
Like nothing
happen.
was bothering.
It didn't.
It was
Nothing.
it was
Nothing at
perfect.
all.
It was a perfect
The
moment.
sun didn't bother me. I mean, it was just so relaxed, and it was just like the waves were rocking me, and I was a baby.
Yeah,
I was just sitting
exactly.
there, and I'm just rocking and rocking and rocking.
My
Man,
California, Maya.
And
my Federfunya,
I
yeah,
say, I
facts,
say.
facts.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, yo, this is like one of the most amazing feelings, right?
Hell
And then obviously we were on a mission, so they're
yeah.
like, yo, we gotta go, we gotta go.
Next
I'm like,
beach, next
oh
beach.
man, I'm like, dang, I was like, I really wanted to stay, because I finally started getting into a rhythm,
Facts.
But we
and
gotta give it to Jay that was able to make that trip for us, and we got to enjoy. I didn't get to do that because I don't know how to swim. So me hubiera ahogado ahí en el mar, me hubiera ahogado. So I don't know
absolutely.
how to
Shout out to
swim.
Jay for definitely, putting that together for all of us.
Yeah, word.
A little family vacation that we took. I think it was definitely necessary for all
Necessary.
of
Yup.
us. We
Therapeutic. Hell
all
yeah.
we all got like a little therapeutic,
Mm-hmm.
something therapeutic out of it, right?
Yeah, it was a
They
great
did.
moment.
They
And
definitely did. They did. Definitely.
and so again, right? Everybody handles, their mental different. Everybody handles depression. Everybody handles, all these things differently. And what may work for me may not work for you.
How
Yep.
You
you
know,
handle?
Yep.
If we're talking about here depression, how you handle your depression? Because you seem like you're a very strong guy that you don't care about nothing. So let me
As
hear
soon as he
that.
closes that door, he
Yeah, let
starts
me hear that.
bawling
Let me
Yeah,
hear
right.
that.
into his pillow and
I'm
teddy bear.
crying. I'm crying in the shower.
You're not, but we're joking. But that's like
But that's true.
perfectly
I'm
fine.
asking you a question.
If you get hit with a crying moment, you should definitely should let it out. You shouldn't
No, absolutely, of
hold that in.
course. I'll be honest with you. I haven't necessarily. So, when I was younger, I think I probably had like a little bit of a
No, we're talking about
depression.
now. We're talking about now.
Well, I'm getting to
But that's
that.
his
I'm getting to
experiences.
that. I'm telling you my
Uh,
experiences.
Interacting things.
And I think my way out was actually drinking, right? Which is again why I say, like we're trying to find something to eliminate it. It's just like these
Yeah,
things that we're doing is not good for our body,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So I think I would, my thing was drinking. I would drink, um, and then like I guess I'll kind of go on a binge, and then I'll be like, all right, like that's enough. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, all right, that's it. Pity
yeah,
party's done. We
yeah.
gotta stop
Exactly.
this. You know, um, and like now it's kind of hard to say like depression. I mean, I guess have gotten depression when I was a little older, but not necessarily like so overwhelming. Um, to be honest, I always find myself kind of in a rock and a hard place, and the reason why I say that is because you know being a godparent and stuff like that, and being like I guess a certain like representation of a movement and everything is like I'm like I have to be okay. I was telling myself
Yeah,
like I gotta be okay. I gotta be okay. Like even if I'm going to something, I was like no, I'm alright. I'm alright. I'm alright. You know what I'm
yeah. Like
saying?
you push it back.
And exactly, you kind of like repress those
Yeah.
feelings. And then eventually, those feelings will get overwhelmed. So it's kind of for me, it's kind of hard because I don't. I guess really, I just want to talk.
Mm.
That's really it. Like I just want to talk. If I could just talk to a stranger, I think that's my coping mechanism. To be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm
Talking to
really
strangers.
analyzing. No, because so Haishowa says, "Oh, you always talk to everybody, and you just talk to strangers, and you're right." And I think that's my thing, right? That's like what I need. That's what makes me me, right? It's like I need to talk to people, you know, and I'll sit here and I'll talk to individuals randomly. Like for example, a couple of weeks back, there was some people that were part of a nonprofit organization, and I saw them. I went into the supermarket. I walked out, and I mean, I went in, and then when I walked out, I was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing over there?" Because they were like talking to everybody, but they didn't approach me. And then they're like, "Oh, we're a nonprofit. We're trying to get donations and whatnot." And I was like, "All right, that's cool. That's what's up." I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to do a nonprofit myself." And I started a whole like 30-minute conversation about just the nonprofit, and I'm like asking them questions. So what do you do, and how do you do this, and what are you doing? And like, well, we're like a third party, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, I get that, but like, break it down to me.
Word. Put me on. Teach
And I
me.
So
was waiting for the four home.
yeah, and then
Está esperando a cocinar.
I end up giving a donation of like $90 or whatever, and it was like to help educate people around the world or something like that. So I was like, all right, I
See,
felt
you
good.
can't hide nothing because you get to know why the bank account was low.
Word, right?
She's like, she goes, "What is this? What is this deduction from the card?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I ran into some people in the supermarket
And I
and I
donated.
donated." I was like,
No, they send a card, they send a mail, they send a envelope, and I open it. I'm like, thank you for your $90 donation. I'm like, you we would be deducting your next month another $90. I'm like, hold
Damn,
on a
another
minute.
$90.
yeah, they got me.
Reoccurring
They got
payments.
me on that one. Yeah, reoccurring. I mean, I thought it was like what is it, quarterly or something,
Yeah.
I need donation myself.
but so I think that's my coping mechanism, I guess. So that's my therapy,
You
right?
you
Like,
know why that is?
why?
It's because it gives you something to think about besides the stuff that you're already thinking about.
I mean, yeah, that's
You're
true.
talking to a stranger about their stuff, and it's just like, all right, give me something new to think about. I already got 15 things that I'm trying to
Hmm.
get rid of. Give me 30 minutes of, freeing my mind
How you cope with yours?
Absolutely.
with my what?
With your depression, you feel depressed. How you do?
Um, I take a very, 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 very hot bath. Like I come out, my skin is
Wrinkle?
smoking, not wrinkled, it's smoking. I take a very hot bath. I just try to sit there and I just, I think about stuff and I just try to process my emotions. You know what I mean? Like I've caught myself. Um, I've really been on like this self-care thing, maybe like in like the past 2 years. But prior to that, I was the same, drinking and smoking, chilling, trying to just subconsciously, not really realizing that I'm just trying to, get something else to think of in my mind. But once I started getting doing the research, picking up books, reading stuff, and seeing, you know, how like what could possibly be wrong with me and stuff like that. I would sit there and just whatever feeling I had coming up, I would feel it. If I was angry, I would yell. If I was sad, I would cry. If I was confused or whatever, couldn't come up with something, I would just try to continue to ask myself questions about the issue. Like, but like, why did this happen, and why did it make me feel this way, and why didn't I react this way instead of that way, and why am I still holding on to it even though it was 5 years ago? You know what I mean? Like things like that, and then little by little you start coming up with your own answers, and that's really what I did. And after a while of getting through some of my past trauma and starting to really develop my emotional maturity, that's when I started doing the meditation and wanting to focus in more. Meditation, there's something that happens in meditation that it's like, I don't people don't really think about this, but if you think about it, your brain never fully turns off.
Oh, I know.
There's
Trust me.
never a moment where your brain stops. Like it just doesn't stop, right? Like it's you always got something to worry about. Even when you're gonna go to sleep, it's tomorrow. When I
Mm-hmm.
wake up, what time I gotta wake up, what time is it, how much time I got left to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like you always constantly thinking about something. And meditating, which it takes a little while to get there, but when you get there and you realize, like when it happens, that your brain shuts off, it's weird because it's like when you're this is my experience. When your brain shuts off, you're like, oh shit, I'm doing it, right? Like my brain is shut off. But as soon as you're like, oh shit, I'm doing it, my brain shut off. Your
You're
brain
right.
came
You're
right
right
back.
back
It's like
on it.
it's like no, it's not. You fucked. You messed up or whatever. And that's only happened to me one time. I've been trying to get there ever since. It's an amazing experience, but yeah. So that's pretty much what I do.
Well,
How
at
you cope with
least
yours? Hold on. How you cope with your depression?
I don't. I don't cope with it. It kind of much eats me, but I survive. That's that's
That's
what I do. I
important.
survive.
That is important.
That awkward silence.
When I was
not it's just deep, right? Because we're trying to like I'm thinking about it. You're saying I just survive, and it's like we should never feel like we should just be surviving, right? We should always try to find some sort of way,
Try to
a way,
strive.
something to try to bring something else out of us. I mean, I've known you a lot of years now, and I've definitely seen you go through the moods. I know when to just step back, and I know when to approach. Right, like we always have those conversations. I know when is a good moment to talk to you. I know when it's not.
Right.
And it's difficult, right? Just talking here because it could be difficult because sometimes it's like you want to give more, but you don't know when to give it, right? So it's like you're in this constant like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? You know what I mean? But I kind of feel like I go through that with a lot of people too, right? Because it's like I never know when's the right moment sometimes. Um, and I think that I know you said you have a couple of exercises. I think that we just have to push ourselves a little bit more because sometimes it's so easy to get consumed in life that we forget about all the other stuff, right? We go, oh, well, what about the Boda and praying on the Boda? Or what about, let me go meditate and doing this and doing that because now I got school, I got this, I got that. So it's like, we're like, I need to do this, and we're forgetting about this part. And that's why this topic is so important
Hmm.
because we literally, as individuals, we push our wellness and our self care to the side
Yeah.
because we need to survive. Because I need to finish my education because I got to make the next dollar. You understand what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that's why I think this is very important. So I'm glad that you actually said that because just a little clarity for yourself too. But go ahead, Aisha. Go ahead.
the way that I use that I do. Well, when I was growing up, I always go through depression. So I used to call random people. I used to use dial numbers, and I used to ask the people, "Can you just hear me out?" Because they don't see me, they can't judge me, they don't know
Yeah.
who I am.
Hmm.
So I will talk to them. I will talk to them for hours. Now, that I'm older already, I just shut down. Like I just like don't want to know about nothing. And I could smile. You don't know if I'm stressed. You don't know if I'm depressed because I don't let that. I don't let nobody see that part of me.
Hmm.
But when I'm in the bathroom or when I'm laying down, when everybody's sleeping, that's when I just like break down. Just because I had a hard day, just because things did not went the way that I want to, and I don't have no one to talk. I don't say that I don't have people. I have a lot of people that I could talk to. But one something that I learned is that today you are ears, tomorrow you are tongue. Because today
Hmm.
you my friend, tomorrow you my enemy. And whatever I told you, you're gonna just throw it in my face. You're gonna tell the social media. You're gonna tell somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
So I learned how to be very to myself.
Hmm.
And when I feel that I'm gonna go to that depression mode, I just go and I don't know. I just go and go to the bathroom and just talk to myself and I just thinking that I'm talking to somebody and do that. But I'm not a person that I could open up to somebody and tell that person my feelings.
Sometimes.
I can't do it. I can't because either you're gonna judge me, either you're gonna talk about it, or you're gonna tell the next person what it is, and I don't feel comfortable. So I prefer just to go with that to sleep and wake up tomorrow. You okay? I'm perfectly fine.
Sometimes you don't really need like a therapist or somebody specific to talk to. As long as you sit with it, like literally sit with it. I mean, people try to not think about certain things, right? Like, oh, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But it's like that's what your body's calling for. Like that's what you got to do. You have to sit there and feel it all because it's gonna stop eventually. It's gonna
Yeah.
stop. I mean, and if it doesn't stop for you, then that's kind of like a personal thing. You have to kind of learn to get out of that rut. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like the gym. Like everybody starts, with motivation, then after a while they don't want to go to the gym, and that's when you want to go to the gym when you don't want to.
Exactly.
So when
That's
you don't want to do these exercises, these mental health things, these meditation, or oh, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to feel that. It's like, bro, but that's what you got to do because, like I said in the earlier in the earlier channel, I mean episode, energy doesn't get destroyed; it gets converted. And so, if you don't process those emotions, that trauma, that energy is just gonna flow in through your body and it's gonna stay there until you feel like dealing with it. So it's like eventually you got to deal with it. I mean, you don't have to deal with it, but that's why when you're in a rut, it's such a deep rut because it's like you haven't healed any of that. So you're just like feeling what you the new stuff that's happening plus all the old stuff that you've been trying to ignore.
But then it's hard because then your mom, your daughter, your wife, your sister, your aunt, then your godmother, and then all these, oh, you have everybody looking at you, up to you, like, oh my God, Mama Lina's strong. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mama Lina don't fight. Mm-hmm. Mama Lina don't do this. Mm-hmm. I go through every emotion because what hurt you hurt me, what hurt her hurt me, and all this thing. But I cannot just show the. It's not that I want to show the world that I'm weak, but I'm just like I have to be strong for you, for everybody.
Yeah.
Because then if you see me that I'm weak, that I can't handle my problems, what makes you think that I want to come to you to tell my problem? I could sit here and listen to everybody's problem, and give you the same advice that I could have Haisha give me. Haisha. And like, why I don't talk, why I don't practice
What you
what is it?
preach, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, practice what I preach.
And it goes on, but because of what my traumas, I was able to get, a degree on mental health technician because it helped me. It
Yeah.
helped me to be in the class and be able to cope with my own problems.
Yeah, that's I I lost my chain of thought. What I was gonna say just now. I was gonna like look something up and at the same time say something back to. I completely lost my chain of thought. But oh no, I was gonna say. I was gonna
I
say
think
no.
that you need a little bit more
I
meditation.
was
You
gonna.
haven't done
I
it
was.
for a while.
Yeah, I know, right? I was no. I was gonna say sometimes, depending on the situation, right? I feel that there is strength in weakness because everybody in the room is wants to put up that strength. Like, oh, I don't feel nothing.
Yeah.
I'm forget about it. I'm a machine. What? That was yesterday. Who even cares? Who knows that person, right? All of that trash. But it's like when you actually not to say that you want to be in this room being vulnerable, right? It depends on who you want to be vulnerable with, but when you actually show vulnerability, like a madrina, and you're this figure, it kind of lets other people know, like, yo, it's okay to be weak from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel what you're feeling. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
keep
and
it to
own up
myself.
to it. You could keep it to
I mean,
yourself.
the only way that that I feel that I just got destroyed, a part of me, is that when I lost my dad.
Mm,
When I lost my dad, I lost it. I didn't care who was looking at me, whatever. I lost it. Other than that, I haven't. It's a lot of moment that I cry. I can tell you that I could cry every day. I cry every day.
Of course.
When I go, I cry when I go to sleep. When nobody's looking at me, then I'm like, nobody could tell me why you crying. Because it's a moment that I don't want to tell you why I'm crying. I just
Of
want to
course.
cry.
Yeah.
I just want to cry.
Sometimes that just comes up, right? Like
Yeah.
that's actually been happening to me lately where I watch a movie and it'll be like a completely random movie,
No, I don't do that.
like some
Yo,
Spider-Man
I don't
movie,
do that.
right? Where like the pops and the dad they just shared a hot dog or something stupid, and that shit got me with and I'm like, yo, why why that just came up like that? Like I don't understand where that's even coming from. This is a dope ass movie.
let me tell you something, man.
I'll be letting it go. I'll be trying to let it go.
I I feel like I was what 4 years ago, right? I went to see Phil.
Yeah,
All right, like 4 years ago, right? I would say about four
something
years
like that.
ago, I was a totally different person, bro.
Oh yeah.
Right? 4 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. Now I went to this place called Seafield,
Mm.
and after I went there, they had me talking about my feelings and getting into my feelings and all of this stuff and blase blah and blase blah. Right?
That's how they
Mind
get
you,
you.
yo, I mean, you've been with me for a while. You know, I don't cry.
I know this man 9 years. I've seen him cry one time, and it wasn't even a
Okay,
cry; it was a tear.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
A frustration.
Of
yeah,
frustration.
frustration,
Word.
like yo, man, that's what I get. I'm like, oh, I want to hurt somebody. And let me tell you, so before that, before those 4 years, 4 years ago, my life changed, right?
Mm.
4 years, so 4 years, 4 years ago, right? Before that life altering moment I had, right? And I went over there. Like I said, I didn't care about really nothing.
Mm.
Like I mean, there was no feelings, there was no nothing. I mean, I was literally like I didn't care. After I had that experience, I saw a different side of people. You know what I'm saying? I looked into a lot of the science of how and why people react the way they react.
Mm-hmm.
Why they drink, why there's addiction, things like that. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Like I started to look into the science of it, right?
Yeah, yeah. As you should.
So,
Oh, he looked at it very well. I tell
oh
you
yeah,
later.
let me tell you, I
I
came out like
tell
a
you.
teacher.
What?
That's
Yeah.
good though. That's
Like a
good.
teacher.
Then I started to identify saying, hey, not for nothing. I said, I was kind of an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Like I told my son, I told Heist, I said, I was kind of like an alcoholic a little bit, because, yeah, I was social, like, there's something called socially drinking, but man, I feel like I overdid the social drinking, the socially drinking.
Brushing his teeth with rum and shit.
Yo, man, I mean, wake up to alcohol, go to sleep to alcohol. I mean,
That's
that was a
crazy.
little crazy,
Maybe drinking hand sanitizer.
We're not going to talk about that. So after that moment that I had, with Sandra, she was one of the ladies in the facility and everything, and I started to realize, like there was a lot of other trauma and things that I had in my life that I really didn't fully deal with,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was talking to her about this, because again they like pry this stuff out of you, right? She's like, oh, okay, and then I started crying, bro.
Yo.
Yo, after like what 28 years, no, I want to say 28 years, right? Because I cried as a baby, right? So I would say like after like let's say 10, 12 years, I had never
Mm.
cried, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Balling.
bawling like a baby,
Balling.
man. I said, yo, what is going on? I'm crying. I couldn't even stop. I could not even stop crying. I had all these tears coming out. I didn't know why. What made me go even crazier was the fact that I didn't know why. And I'm like, but
Mm-hmm.
why am I crying?
Yeah, yeah.
She's like, you got trauma, you have this. I was like, but why am I crying though? I don't get
Yeah.
why, you know. And long story short, basically, I identify, that I have some things that I need to resolve within myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to this day, I go, I don't know what those people did to me, man. I said, but I'm not the same. I said because now I feel like I'm an empath. You'll
Mm.
sit here and you'll tell me a story, you start telling me certain things, and I'm like, all right, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry.
Yeah.
Like little
Don't cry,
man.
don't cry,
Like
don't cry,
little
don't cry,
man.
don't cry.
Don't cry. Don't
Yeah.
cry. I'm not
But
I'm not crying.
they teach him so much in there, right? That when he came out, I would tell him, babe, we have to do this. No, They teach me that I could say no, and I don't have to do what you told me to do. It's like
Boundaries.
I'm like,
Boundaries.
Facts,
I'm not telling
boundaries.
you what to
Yeah.
do. I'm telling you that we should do this as a family. They told me that I
No.
have to think about myself, and if I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, okay, okay, self love.
Self love.
I said, I'm not self love, but okay.
I'm telling you, man. You know, it's like I said, it's really it was an experience for me. It really was.
I wanted to say though real quick, right? Like if you ever have a moment like that and you're like, why am I feeling this way? Like if you're just asking yourself why, that's stored away trauma trying to come up out of your body.
Absolutely,
And you should pay
absolutely,
attention to that.
absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. That's when I
That's what
realized,
happened, yeah.
and that's when I realized that that's what happened.
Mhm.
You know, but I don't know, man. I guess the screw is like loose because it ain't going away yet. You know, like it's like I get these moments and I'm like, but why do I feel what these people are feeling? Like I said, I became an empath and I literally feel like you're telling me things and I'm really telling myself as you're talking to me, I'm like trying to really compose myself. Most
Mm.
people don't realize that, you know. Thank God for the glasses.
Compose yourself in which way?
You
Weird,
know,
because conmigo este
¿Y
tipo
conmigo
cold
también?
hard over here, Mr. Freeze.
¿Y conmigo también?
What is it? What is it? Toughen up, buttercup,
yeah,
crocodile
toughen up,
skin, all of
buttercup.
that.
Yeah, yeah, you
Él
know.
tiene total emotion para todo el mundo. Y para uno
Right?
se queda como ahí como si no.
Nah, nah, nah.
Oye,
Nosotros tres
ese.
aquí, no, forget about it. We got us. What
Ay,
else got over
dale,
here?
You
He
gotta
got
get
everybody else
stronger.
out
You
dale
gotta
here.
get
now.
stronger. You hear me?
Yeah, see, see,
That's
see,
true.
see.
You have to pick. You cannot pick and choose who you show your emotion to. You know. You just pick and choose whenever you want to. That's how I feel.
Touching on being an empath, if you feel like you're an empath, which if anybody doesn't know, being an empath is where you can like literally feel people's emotions as they're talking to you or even when they're sitting right next to you. You could actually soak up their emotions and then you go home and you still don't even know why you're sad, right?
I
Because
feel that I didn't went to see you.
so point is if you feel like you're an empath, you should definitely take time to yourself. Definitely take time to process your feelings and to clean out, you know what I mean? Clean yourself out of all of that excess energy. Cause some of it ain't even yours.
It's true.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hacer
That's
es bon.
Hacerle
definitely. I
Hacer
said,
es bon.
boy, rogación de
De
cabeza,
todo un
head
poco.
cleanse, do a little
Un
bath,
poquito de
something.
todo. Un poquito de todo.
Figure it out, man. Let me tell you, there's nothing like a white bath.
Nothing like
It's not like a white bath,
Ella need a white bath.
you know.
So chiquillo.
it.
To do her magic.
But I'll tell you, you know, like I said, it was definitely all, you know, a life altering experience for me, and I look at all my experiences as blessings. You
Yeah.
know, I never say, even if it was like people be like, "Well, that could have been the horriblest thing that happened." I'm like, "Nah, that was actually really good that happened to me."
No,
Because I
that's it.
started realizing certain things in my life, and maybe I needed to change my life a little bit because I was going down a path that I didn't need to walk on.
Yeah, it gave you
Ache.
perspective.
You know,
Ache.
and
Ache.
like I always say, and I pretty much say it all the time, to be a good priest, you need to have walked the world a lot and understand individuals, right?
Mhm.
So I think that everything I went through has allowed me to kind of understand a little bit of everybody. You know, I may not be an expert in everything, but you know, I kind of have an understanding, so I can relate.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
You know,
Why you so quiet?
Just listening to y'all talk.
she's not Cheba today, eh?
No, I don't think you guys are giving room for me to talk. So
Yeah,
Like,
so sorry.
go ahead,
I
talk.
don't have nothing to say.
So you know, um, yeah, you know, so I think that is definitely important to identify those components that make you you.
Hmm.
I think finding someone that you could trust to speak. I think it's very important to talk. I'm not nobody to say that because I don't talk to nobody, but I think it's very important to find someone that you'll be able to realize in everything that you go through in life because having a trauma is very hard.
Absolutely.
And not one, but when you have when you have different ones and a lot of them, it's very hard.
No, absolutely, it is. It's you know, that's why you know there's times that you know that people come to me and I'm like, you know, I can help you with certain things, but there's certain things that you need to see a professional. Like you need to just let this out, right? Because certain things ain't easy to just let out to someone, right? So it's
Yeah.
like I rather like that's why I say I think I say I'd rather just talk to a bunch of strangers, you know, or go see a therapist if that's what you need to do, and just and get it out. Just let it out of you, because I think that's very important, is to actually let it out so we can actually start the process, and let the healing begin.
Absolutely.
Um, that's definitely something that's very important.
There are also different methods, right? Like just the ones that we mentioned are just what we do for ourselves. There's different things. Like I'm sure some people like to run because when you run, you're only thinking about your body, right? Like you're not really thinking about anything else. There's some people that like to go up to the top of their roof and yell at the top of their lungs.
You
You
used to
know,
do that?
yell at the top of my lungs from the roof.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. I did that many times, many times. So I'm gonna share one. This is odd, but man, it feels good. I bought this pork shoulder the other day, right? You guys, I didn't tell you guys about this. I did this by myself. I bought a pork shoulder. It was pretty cheap, and I bought a knife. And I went and I took that pork shoulder and that knife and I went into the park and I just found a little spot. Yo, I stabbed that fucking pork shoulder up so crazy.
Thank God the cop didn't see you because they would have been like,
Yo, but listen, that worked for me. That worked for me. I feel good. I feel
he had a
great.
psychopath somewhere.
I let it out. I'm just saying, man. You gotta find out what works for you and then go with it. You know what I mean? So as
Well, what
crazy
the
as it
boy
sounds,
did to you.
the pork was there and it was in my way. You feel me? It was in my way, so I had to, carve my initials in there real quick.
I think that I mean, it's like, like people fight, they box and stuff like that, or they'll
Yo,
hit the
facts.
gym. You know what I
Yo,
mean? That's
fighters
kind
are
of,
some of the happiest people on this planet.
I mean, you get to literally like
Unleash everything on
and
somebody.
then release like all your frustrations and be like, I don't like this guy today.
Yeah.
And then after the fight is done, it's like, yo, man, I love you, man. I
I
didn't mean
love
to do
you,
that.
word. You took all these this past 6 months. You took it all, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Also, writing a letter, it could take a lot of emotions, but you could write that letter, and because what you could write can be erased. So
Oh, you could burn it.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
did that when my dad passed. I
I did that a
wrote
few
a
months
letter.
ago.
Yeah, it felt very good because I was able to cry and write and cry and write. Yeah, that's
Writing doesn't do it that much for me, to be
I do.
honest. Like
Just
I don't mind journaling sometimes, but I feel like I think faster than I can write, so I get frustrated.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at too.
And I
Plus,
just
I do not know how to spell, so
That's a
I
life for
just
you.
I don't
whatever.
know how he
I
went to
write.
college.
I write the way I write. Thank God for auto check and all that stuff
That
like
good old
that.
Tenga
chicken
for
scratch.
come
Yo,
on,
it's funny.
AI.
That's what they
AI.
literally used to
AI
say. They
GPT.
used to say chicken scratch. They'd be like,
Chicken
"You
scratch.
got nothing but chicken scratch going on this sheet."
I wonder how that came up. Chicken
I don't
scratch for
know.
handwriting. I'm gonna look that up.
That's pretty funny, but yeah. A good thing that I also experienced over there was
And where?
at Seafield was guided
I want to go to this
meditation.
place now.
It was cool. I'm not gonna lie. It was cool. I mean, it was like military type of thing, but like then they had their moments. Listen, I did acupuncture for the first time
He
over
came out and he
there.
wanted to do the singing
You did
bowl.
I
acupuncture?
did acupuncture,
How was
bro.
that?
It was pretty cool. I was very nervous, but I actually did it for the first time over there.
How many needles did they put in you? Or the little things?
They put quite a bit. I
Quite
You
a
mean,
could
few.
do that.
like
You don't
like
have to
more
go
than
to
20.
seafield. You could do that in physical therapy.
I'm
I'm
just
just saying,
saying that
yeah.
I experienced a lot of things there. I got into the science behind addiction and all of this stuff,
Mhm.
and um how they did experiments with monkeys, and had those monkeys that were alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? And
Alcoholic monkeys.
yo, and believe it or not, addiction is actually hereditary. Like it
Yeah,
goes in
yeah.
your DNA.
Yeah.
People don't realize that.
You know?
So that's why I was like, yo, but people have never touched a drug or nothing a day in their life, and then all of a sudden one day they pick it up, and it's like they can't let it go because it's in their DNA, or their parents or something, or I don't know,
Word, if you see
something.
grandma and grandpa or Theo still drinking up a storm, you might have something to worry about.
So listen, my father was an alcoholic, so again, I think that's why I
I
was I
think he
was.
still is.
Oh, well, yeah, he is. I'm
Facts.
sorry, he still is.
Facts.
That's why I said I had to really watch the path that I was walking down.
Mhm.
Um,
I think a little bit of alcohol doesn't that much because sometimes you just need it. Like coming out of work,
Just a
you
little
just
bit.
need it.
yeah, but you gotta find ways of healthy ways of decompressing.
I have a healthy way, but I can't do that all the time. So
So
you look at me, Luis.
do me a
Whatever
favor
works for
though.
you.
So hold on. before I get into that, right? So
Be
one of the
careful what
things,
you're asking.
one of the things that I actually did over there was guided meditation.
Mm.
Yo, that was it was pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it
Guided
is.
meditation. Um, they had this scenario. They're like, all right, they had the music. Everything was dimmed down.
The
Everything was
frequencies.
everything was light. And then they go, now close your eyes and picture, you're walking.
Where?
You're taking a long walk, right? I'm just gonna give you an example. Go.
But where I'm walking.
You're
Whatever
taking
you
a
want.
Where?
It's your
you're
mind.
taking a long walk,
Hmm.
right? And now you're walking and you finally hit a lake.
I walk a lot.
Oh, so I
You
was walking through the park.
That's a
yeah,
lot of
no, no, no,
walking.
listen, listen. You're walking on the trail and you finally hit a lake. And now you come to the lake and you start realizing, there's some wildlife and some things. And when you turn around, you see there's a waterfall.
Mm.
Now you hear the water splashing. It's splashing on the rocks. It's beautiful. It's blue. It's a lot of noise. And you see something behind the waterfall.
Mm.
Now I want you to picture walking behind the waterfall.
Like a
Go
curtain.
to the waterfall. Exactly, like a curtain. So now you're gonna walk through the waterfall.
Drenched.
There's something behind there for you. Do you see it? Yeah, I see it. I do. I actually do see it. What
What you
is it?
saw?
It's $1
It's a
million.
little box, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yo, this is crazy, bro. It's a
This is the
box.
guided meditation at telling you it's a box, or like you're
Yeah.
saying it's a
No,
box.
no, no. That's the guided
Oh,
meditation.
okay, okay.
It's a box. Now, this box is for you. There's something inside this box. Now, I want you to open the box. Open the box.
He talk like that?
Boom.
Right? He's talking
So,
like that.
so I open the box. I
So
open the box.
dramatic.
I think
So
it'll be
what do
probably
you
more like
see?
open the box.
So what do you see? What do you see? You open the box. This box is for you. What do you see? And you sitting there, and I was like, yo, I started seeing some crazy things. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I
That's
said,
not
I,
muerto talking. That's
I
not a
see
Now
it.
Jose was like,
meditation.
oye, dice.
I said, I see a snake. No, wait, it's a dragon. I'm seeing a dragon.
In the box?
And me and the dragon are talking now. I went on a whole trip. You would have thought I was on something that I was not supposed
That
to
was
be
not
on
You
over
was
there.
doing
so
a
taking you through
misa.
dimensions.
You was doing a misa and
Yo,
see
let me
film.
tell you something. No, I'm so serious though. So and they literally so that's the type of stuff they do. The guided meditation. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I never experienced nothing like that. So when I when we what was like 2 years ago when we went on another little business venture. We started watching Mornings with Nano.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So they had the
That was
guided
good.
meditation. Yo, bro, I was like, yo, this reminds me of Seafield, and I liked it. We used to right. It was like clockwork every morning,
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. We sit there, we wait for our 10 minutes, and then we get our little inspirational mornings and our talks and whatever, whatever,
But then
whatever.
he's like off. Then he started like missing the meditation, and he's like, oh, go to YouTube. And it was not the same because we already had this. When you do something for 15 days, you get used to like
Yeah.
you know.
That's actually how you develop a habit. Do it for
Yeah.
21 days.
So he will have us there, and then one day he was like, oh, go to YouTube and get a meditation. We're not doing meditation today, so that like threw me off.
Yeah.
But it was
Yeah,
it was really good because I was unable to. I'm always awake. I'm always thinking about something. I'm always
Mhm.
thinking about the next move, and that I was able to with him to be able to just like close my mind and just like
Like
let
shut it
myself
down.
go.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I was able to swim, and I don't know how to swim.
You were swimming in your
I was
mind.
swimming in my mind.
Yeah, no, because they tell you like it's kind of guided meditation. They tell you now imagine the things you want. Like you write the three things you want down, and then imagine those three things. And so you go on a whole trip, and sometimes it's hard, right? Because like they say, it's hard to calm the mind, like you said.
Yeah.
So like you're thinking about this, but then all of a sudden, oh, I gotta pay this bill. Pops up, right? You're like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yo, are you
Random.
kidding me right now? Like I'm in the middle of something right now. Like
I,
this
I, I
could
don't
wait.
I don't know if your mind works the same, but my mind, like I have like a very creative imagination.
Oh yeah,
So I
yeah,
could
yeah.
sit there and I'm like, all right, I don't want to think about nothing. Boom, an image of
I can't
Barney.
do that.
All right, I don't want. I'm all right. I'm not thinking about nothing. Boom, skulls. And it's just like,
I
what's
can't
going
do
on with my
that.
mind? like
I can only do that when I'm in like in a room that we're doing a misa, something like that. That I could do that. But like this, I'm always like,
that's got to
no.
be that's meditation and being able to like kind of control the brain waves of your brain like that takes time. That takes a lot of time.
No, definitely.
Like and
That's
doing it more, like say you do 20 minutes a day or anything like that doesn't really change anything. Like you do 5, 10, 20. It doesn't really matter. It's just about being consistent with it.
So Jay, if you see a friend of yours that have a problem with depression or have they don't have like self care, what you tell that person?
Well, I never give advice to something I don't know how to handle myself. I usually just be a good listener. I just hear them out, and by the end of them venting, that's most of the time they just say, "Well, just thank you," because that's what I needed to get it out my chest. But with doing that, they forget to ask if you're okay. You know.
Always.
Yes.
Definitely.
So now you got their load plus yours, and like I said, just survive, get to it, whatever. It happens, you know. I wish people were more. How do I say it? Not universal, but more reflective. They give what you wanted right back. But there's people in this world who are the ones to help people get through stuff, and that's your purpose. That's your role in life. Because there's not everybody has somebody else to do that for them. So
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think I'm that to all my friends. I'm the person they vent to, leave their load on, and then they go about their day. That's me.
A healer.
Then you stay with
Yeah.
yours and
Yeah.
theirs.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, not
I
for
don't
no,
complain.
not for nothing. Like what she said, that's actually important though, because literally what she does is what we were talking about. Like, you just need somebody to
Yeah.
talk to.
It's
But it is,
important.
but it kind of sucks though, because like you said, you have to. Now you're bearing two loads versus just one. You
You know
know.
what really made me stop venting? When somebody said I create my own depression. That's when I was like, yeah, I'm not venting no more. Like how did I create the chemical imbalance in my brain? I'm sad today. I can't tell you why, but you're telling me I created that. But free to zone. That's why I really don't vent because sometimes no, majority of the time when I am venting or I choose to vent, I don't want a response. I just want you to listen and maybe like at the end, I don't know about hug, but just tell me I heard you, like at least. But I'm not looking for your like for you to tell me what to do with my issues. I'm looking for an ear most of the time. Just let it out.
Yeah. No, definitely. Trust me, I know. I can relate to that.
So it's moment that you be like standing up in somewhere or just in your room and your tear comes down like nothing and you don't even know why you're crying or why your tear just is coming down.
Yeah, that happens a lot. It almost happened here. It almost happened sitting right here, but
And then someone will tell you, but why you crying? And I'll be like, I don't know.
yeah,
That's a sign of depression.
yeah, I
Is it a
know.
sign that's because sometimes I'm cooking and those are tears of love, cooking with love,
I knew it because sometimes the food be extra salty, and I'm like,
you know?
this doesn't taste like salt from the kitchen.
So sometimes, yeah, sometimes it just come out, and then somebody will come and say, "Well, you crying?" I'm like, "No, I'm not crying. I'm got too much water in my eyes." But it's like
Yeah,
you said,
facts.
sometimes you just want it. Sometimes it's that you just want that hug or just like that person to tell you, "Are you okay?" Because it's always asking you, "Okay, you guys okay? You got your A," but not telling me, "Oh, did you A? How was your day? It was
Hmm.
good." You know, little thing, but
I have,
sometimes it's
I
hard.
actually have this friend who knows I don't like physical touch, right? Dash. But no matter what, he still hugs me. Like he'll
Yeah.
yank me by my sweater and still give me a hug. And I'm like, dude, like he's like, no, you'll be needing it. Like, come on,
Since
everybody needs
she
one.
was little. Since she was
Yeah,
little.
since I was like 10th grade.
But it's hard because when someone is going through depression or someone got stress or something like that, you don't know when to give that hug. Like for me, I'm very like rejection. Like that kills me. Like that will turn me like put me like in a little cocoon.
Or rejection.
Yes.
I need to learn to not give so much of that. I stay
Yes.
rejecting
Yes.
everything.
And it's hard because then when someone wanna just hug you just because they wanna hug you or they just wanna tell you I love you, it's just like hard because then you don't say it back. So then it's like either you ignoring
I'm
me
not gonna
or
say
you
I love you if
rejecting
I
me.
don't mean it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you know
But
how random just be like, all right guys, I love you, bye, see you later. I don't ever say it
no, I
back.
can't. Yeah, but
I don't know.
I'm
even
definitely a
niggas know.
hugger, and
Yeah,
I'm definitely a I love you kind of a person.
we know
It
that.
don't
We
even
know
matter. Like
that.
it don't matter if like I really
We
do
know
or don't.
that.
I kind of just say it just to like, yeah, man, I love you. Like
Like
And
somebody
when
loves
some
you.
people need to hear because not everybody has people in their lives that tell them I love you or hey you matter or something like that. And yo, shout out to Kat, cause like the other, you know what's up, Kat. You know what's up.
you know, for us the Puerto Ricans, for us Puerto Rican, it's hard. It's not hard for us to say that because me, born and raised in Puerto Rico, un I love you para mí es un te quiero, like te
Yeah,
quiero.
te
You
quiero.
know, that's this. You know, te quiero, un
Yeah.
amigo, whatever. Now when I tell you te amo, this is something different because that's deep.
I
That's
feel
going
like
deep.
that. I feel like the amo. There's not even a way to say that in English. Like it is love, but I feel
Yeah.
like the quiero is like more of the I love you. Where the amo is almost like I'm in love with
No,
you. Como like te quiero.
no, because I could
Te
say
amo.
because I could say te quiero. I could say te quiero because you're my friend, you're my family, whatever. Yo te amo is something.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yo
Like
te
the
mention a
te,
ti. Te mention.
te quiero is like it's still like a lesser form of love, but like in
Yeah.
my mind, it's love. Te amo, even though it's more, it's love. It's still love, but it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. For me, in my mind, te amo is like
It's like yeah.
massive.
No, it's not. It's not that
Normalize
massive.
telling people I care for you before you say
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Normalize that. Because you need to
But
care for me before you love me.
that's what I love you means. Not I love you.
No, I
You know what
don't
it is? Is that
know.
it's a different term. Like for
Mm,
example, I could tell you I love you, or I could tell somebody te amo if I really love you like that.
mm,
But I feel that te quiero, te amo, and I'm in love with you. It's three different
yeah,
things, you know.
yeah,
Because you could love something, but you cannot be in love with that person
yeah, yeah,
or with anything. And you could say te quiero just because I care for you and I'm here for you if you need me and things like that. But when you really truly truly love, you have to mean it
yeah.
before you say anybody because you could have that person thinking something else and not what you're trying to say.
I love for free, man. I like to live and think in an abundance of love. Like
Yeah.
I don't need you in love with me. That's not what I'm saying, right? Like I don't need that. I'm not trying to hear that. But like to be in a room full of people that love you is like, yo, I love you, bro. It's like, yeah, I love you. I love you too. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to just hear that.
What is your sign? Taurus,
I'm a
right?
Taurus, yeah.
Yeah. You guys need affection.
Yeah, super.
Yeah. You are very affectionate
Yeah, I'm very
person.
affectionate. And I just feel like like it's like with my what I said earlier about vulnerability being looked at as a weakness but really being a strength in certain situations, right? Like if you come into a room and nobody says anything about love, like you come to meet a family or just a group of people that they don't have that show of affection, and you come in and you're like, yo man, I love you, bro, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I love you
Yeah.
too, yo, I love all of y'all.
Yeah.
It's like you leave and everybody's like, yo, what's the matter with that guy, right? That's usually what people are gonna think. But then when you're back in your room, it's like, damn, man, like, I wish this person would have said that, or this person or that person. It's like, yo, man, like, I don't know. I just like to spread love, man.
I think that
I'm all about trying to make people feel good. And sometimes that has happened to me where I'm in my zone and like my friend, not even like a family member, just a friend is like, yo, bro, I'll holler at you later, man. Yo, I love you. And it's like, I love you too, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, no doubt. And it's like it just reminds you, it's like, that you don't know who out there really does have love for you, like, or cares
but
about you.
you know what? Taurus are like that. They give love. It's almost like Pisces. We love until we can't no more.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
love more than what we love ourselves.
Yeah.
But when that love is healed, that's it.
No, I have
That's it.
definitely learned to love myself more than
Leo,
I love
Leo
anybody
love,
else.
Leo love their own way.
Mm.
Their own way.
Don't speak on a sign that you don't know
No, man, I'm just
nothing
telling you. I'm just
about.
telling
Speak
you.
on Pisces. Don't speak on Leo.
Capricorn, they just love whatever.
You're going off what you're seeing.
That's exactly.
You
That's
don't
what
know
I'm
the
saying.
deeper
they say
that there's
that
depth in it. He loved
Yeah.
in his own way.
Everybody loves in their own way.
they say that Capricorn is the mountain goat. So where they say we have no emotions.
No.
We don't care.
You
They
have to stand
only
wherever.
so
But we do though. That's what I'm saying. We do. Like I know
man.
I care. I
Of
have
course.
emotions. I have feelings. It's just that
Listen.
we are like focused. You know what I mean? Like, well, no, I
Mhm.
gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta move, I gotta boom, 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 boom. You know, just like it's a constant like moving battles. Like I need to get things done, and we gotta do it, and that's
Mhm.
part of that zodiac. It's like hard work and then just trying to do something, trying to strive, and it's kind of like the hustler
Yeah,
mentality.
facts.
How
That's
is your
pretty much
sign?
Capricorns.
I don't know, cause people say I like, yeah, I have some Leo traits, but I don't act like one. Like Leos love attention, and I hate attention, and Leos like to be loud and the center
Oh,
of
that's true.
things, and I'm not like that. I'm that Leo that's
Back to
most of the
leave.
time I'm like I don't try to make my presence known in events or in situations and stuff like that. And yeah, that's it. But when it comes to like you're rubbing me the wrong way, you're gonna see the Leo in me. Like you're gonna see that.
What whoever knows
That's it.
Mr. Kevin here, he's hard to say those type of words. I mean, he could say it to anybody,
I'll be forcing him to say that shit.
before me.
Forget,
Oh
forget
yeah,
about it. I'll be like, yo, Kimba, I love you, nigga.
But if we're talking about love, I have my own way of loving. My love language is giving. I The way I showed appreciation for you guys was that vacation.
and we appreciate it because I
You know
enjoy.
Facts,
Definitely
facts,
needed that.
facts.
the way I used to show him like care and stuff with buying him little stuff, like knowing that his favorite football team is the Panthers. They suck, by the way. But
Super, super, super bad this year.
I
Let's
I
let's
would
let's
do
leave that
that.
aside. Let's leave that aside. Trying to
You
get me
know,
depressed.
I would buy you food and stuff. Like we
Hmm.
would eat meals together with you. You know, I used to give you them little massages things and stuff like
In my
that.
nails.
That's my way of showing my love. I would do something
You see,
before
she
I
haven't
say I love
appreciated
you.
me. I haven't had my nails
I
done.
would give you something before I say I love you, and that's my way of saying, "Hey, I love you." Like, thanks.
Yeah, and
Yes.
again, everybody has their way of demonstrating that.
How I love. I think I love deep.
Con comida y con dinero.
I, I
A
love
lot
deep.
of lot of words, a
I
lot of
love deep.
words, and
I love deep.
definitely she shows it, demonstrates. But definitely, her is more like I need you to tell me. I need to,
She
you know what
needs
I'm
words of
saying? Like
affirmation.
yeah,
Yeah, it feels good that when you say, "Oh, babe, I love you," or "You look pretty today." Those things. A woman is not just about buying her things and things like that. I'm not like that. I'm very simple. I'm very simple. You don't have to buy me nothing. All I have to hear that I love you and care and are you okay? Those little things. You look beautiful.
I'm the opposite. I don't want to hear I love you. I want you to show me, make me feel
Yeah,
that
that's
love. Like I need to feel it because you could tell. Like a lot of times people say like, "Yo, I love you," but then they do something that is like, "Yo, that's not love." And if that's how you love, I don't want that love. Like I don't know if that sounds like mean or whatever,
no,
but
it's true.
there's times where I'll be like, "Yo, I don't want your love. Like that's not the type of love I need in my life."
But the good thing is that I know when you love me. I know when you want something.
Yeah, este huevo
I
quiere
know.
sal. That's my favorite thing to say, yo.
You still get to get it, papi.
that's funny. That's funny.
Nigga, you going hard today, bro.
If I tell you the
We
first
going
time,
in.
if
We
I
going
tell
in.
you,
We
if
going
I
in.
tell you the first time that he told me I love you, you're gonna be like, I'm like, we're not even gonna go there. We're just gonna
We're
leave.
not. We're not
We,
gonna
we,
go
We're
we
gonna,
could
there.
save that for February, Valentine's Day,
yeah,
We're
right?
not. We're not going
The little
there.
love
yeah.
stories.
We're gonna leave it when
That's
the
too
when
Oh,
deep.
for
the
That's too
Thanksgiving.
deep. That's too
Thanksgiving.
we are
deep.
gonna
Thanksgiving
leave
is.
it for when the audience start asking questions about how we love and things like that. We leave it like that. When it get more spicy.
Well, yeah,
Hmm.
sounds good.
We're gonna give it a shout out to Seafield.
To see Phil facts, bro. I'm about to go over there. I'm not even gonna lie. I want to see what that's about. I need to get all my shit
You
out.
know, he came home. He's like, oh, wait, I was doing some singing. What is it? The singing bowl classes.
Yo,
Wait a
pass
minute.
me
Wait a
that though.
minute. Wait
That's
a
what I was
minute.
just about to do.
He goes out and he's like, yo, babe, I was taking singing bowl classes. I said, okay. How you like it? It's good. He take me to a place where they have a whole bunch of them. He come and pick up the $129 singing bowl.
It's a nine
I said,
nine metal. It's a nine tapped metal singing bowl.
I
Get
said
it
what?
right. Get it right.
I said, what the hell you gonna
Nine
eat?
medals.
Get them details in.
No, I said, what the hell you gonna eat the soup in there? It cost so much money. There's a bowl. you know, listen, all I do is clean the house, cook, work, take care of my family. I don't got time to watch TV. I don't got time to watch a movie. I don't got time for that. So me singing bowl. I'm like, okay, we're gonna eat a soup and we're gonna sing at
We're
the
gonna
same
sing
time.
after this.
he go, he go with the bowl. He put some water because now when you touch it and you go like this, the water sparkle up.
Yo, let me
And
You
tell
he
have to
was,
you.
show that. You have
you
to
know what
show
I'm saying?
that.
Yo, technique. All right, because that's something that not everybody could do.
That's true.
I definitely
Yeah,
showed it and
that's
I
true.
proved it. I can definitely make the water jump in a singing bowl. I haven't
I
done it
did
in
it
a
first.
while,
No, I did it first.
but I could definitely do it, and I know, and I could. Yo,
I did it
I'm a
first.
beast with the singing bowl.
I
I
did it
haven't done it in a
first.
little bit, but I'm definitely a beast with the singing bowl.
And then his was so low. And then when I hit mine, it was like very loud. He's like, hold on, why yours louder than mine? I said, maybe I got more vibration than you.
She's on a higher frequency.
Talking
I
about vibration,
wow, what you talking about that? What you
I need people to be okay with themselves if they're feeling a little bit low vibrational. Cause this
Facts.
generation, for some reason, makes us, for sure, it makes me feel like I have to be someone I'm not. If I'm not happy today, it's okay.
Yep.
You know,
Oh,
there
absolutely.
there's people be like, oh, your energy is low. Okay, then stay away from me. You know,
No.
it's okay. Feel what you feel and be however you want to be. I Yo, you would know if they love you for real if they're by you still when you're in your lowest. Like, period. It
Yep.
don't
Oh,
matter.
che.
It does not
So
matter.
that's when they come at you and they tell you, oh, stop feeling like that because you're gonna change the energy in the room.
Yeah, darn you.
Those are the people that haven't even processed their own stuff, though. To
Yeah,
be honest.
facts.
Don't you tell me that?
Like, what? What are you talking about?
I said when people said, oh, keep that energy out because you're gonna change the energy in the room. Just because you feel
No,
low, because you're
because
sad.
you don't realize it, but then you do stuff that towards a person that makes them change their energy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. But if you right now, like right now, I'm to myself, affecting y'all. Y'all still happy. Y'all still
Yeah.
smile. I'm not bothering y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's okay that I'm like this today. It's okay.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
absolutely.
saying.
Yeah, it is. It is. I know you got your update, your down days. You got the day that you're
But that's
happy,
what I'm
and that's
trying to
it.
tell the world that it's
Yeah.
okay if you guys are not okay.
Yeah, processing your emotions and your trauma, like it sounds fast, but it doesn't. It takes a tremendous amount of time.
I
It could
still be
take
sad
days,
about stuff
weeks, months.
that happened like 10 years ago. I'm still sad about it
Yeah,
because
facts.
I've never sat down and fully processed it, and not only processed it, I never talked about it. So if
Mhm.
the conversation never closes out properly, I'm still feeling it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did that also work? Because my therapy, one of the doctors was talking today. Did that also when you said closer, right? Did that also happen when you gonna throw clothes away?
What?
What?
So my doctor was saying today because she reminded me. It says that sometimes you have to do a closer to
Yeah,
things in
closure.
life,
Closure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
right? So he said that he had these favorite pants and his wife threw it out, and he
Mm.
was crying because he didn't did a closer with the pants. I'm like,
Yeah.
what you talking about? So
Yo,
now you
that's
reminded me.
That's like me leaving your life without saying goodbye. You would want that goodbye.
So you're gonna hold your pants and you're not gonna throw you out because I don't want you no more.
yeah. He must have
Yeah,
had a lot of memories with those
you remember
pants.
Jemima? You threw away her little shorts
Oh
and she was
yeah,
crying for like a
yeah.
week. Like that was
I remember when I was like 14, I had these favorite
I love
pants,
you,
these
Jemima.
pair of pants. It was my mom threw them out because she said que podían caminar solo because I used to wear them so much.
That's what she did with Jemima. Like and Jemima, yo, she cried. She came home from school. She was
So
like, "Where's my shirt?"
so I am traumatized because you threw all my quilt out.
Don't tell me you need closure with the quilts now.
I think I did. I need it.
Let me say this
Well,
real
they're
quick because
gone.
I was having a
Goodbye.
conversation and
Farewell.
this came out of me and I want to share this because yes, it's important to get closure on certain topics. Like if you can get closure, you should get closure, right?
Definitely.
But if you can't get closure, you should work on getting peace without closure. Because you're not gonna always be able to have closure. That other person's not gonna always want to talk to you. They're not even gonna. They're not gonna always want to share anything. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have to try to develop the ability to come up with your own answers and find peace within yourself without that closure.
That's true.
Like
Definitely.
don't allow yourself to hold on to that trauma just because the other person doesn't want to join you in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Like
What happened
processes it
is
out.
what happened when you have that loved one that passed and you couldn't have closure. How can you manage that? Like
So
like my when my dad died, I saw him, but then we were supposed to meet again. So I never had that closure. So how can I have that closure now that he's not here?
the only experience that I had that I can possibly relate was I believe it was 3 years ago now. My stepfather, who was pretty much my father, he raised me. He passed away from having cancer. And I remember when he passed away, me telling myself like, yo, this is not um the usual person. Like this is not just another person that passed away, right? Like this is not a situation where we're gonna not cry and not feel nothing in front of anybody. Like I was like really just like like I don't care who's there. I'm gonna be balling. Like I don't want to hold on to this. And I still so like yo, I cried so much that day and during the whole process of like in the I forget what it's called in the cemetery and all of that stuff, like I cried hard like the entire time. People were trying to talk to me and I was just like crying away. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, how you doing? And I'm just like, and I'm just like, I don't even care. I was just like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna hold none of this in. I'm gonna let it all out. And I did, and that's really what helped me like kind of get through that.
But you was
So
able to see him like in a casket
yeah,
and
in a
stuff. Like
casket and
you
stuff like
see,
that. I
me,
didn't look
it's
at him though. I
different.
didn't look at him though because a bad habit that my brain has is that whenever I think back on someone, that I've seen in a casket, like their last image, that's their last image. I
Yeah.
don't like I have to look at a lot of pictures to remember how they looked when they were alive. So I refused, absolutely refused to look at him. So I don't have that image in me. And yeah, I just balled out, man. I mean, in a situation with yours where you had absolutely no way at all, like
At all. He
I, me personally, this is my opinion, because you could probably do something better for yourself, but I would go to wherever they're buried, and whether you want to be alone or I would do it by myself, right? Because you might say, oh, you might want him there, or whatever, but like it's different when you're just by yourself and just let it all out, man. Let it all out, ball. Say whatever you want to say. Any forgivenesses or begging for forgivenesses or whatever, apologies, whatever. Just you know, because you know he's here. You know he's listening, right? Like with the stuff
Yeah.
that we do, you
I
know that
mean,
they're around.
he with him was different because he died on the COVID season. So then you wasn't able to see him or nothing. So I don't have that, not even that last image of him. But we was able when we went to Puerto Rico. I went over to
Yeah,
him,
Oh yeah,
and
that's
I
right.
wrote and I
yeah, we
wrote a
went
letter
over.
for him, and I wrote a
That's right.
letter, and yeah. Sometimes I feel like he's not there. Sometimes because I couldn't see him, so sometimes I feel like he just around somewhere. He didn't want to talk to me.
No,
That's
I think you should definitely go back to Puerto Rico with time, right? Now
it.
where
Yeah,
there's like 17
Definitely.
things in the in the
and
same
the funeral
day.
and the cemetery open.
Yeah, exactly.
You
And
don't
it's
have to go.
so and it's open, and just sit there. Tell everybody to give you some space and just sit there for as long as you want, man, and just let it all out. Let it all out, whatever it is, whatever comes to mind, and just yeah, get that out of you.
Sounds like
Definitely. So we're gonna anchor it down. We got any final remarks
I got a final
for
remark.
for the people tuning in with us faithfully?
I got a final remark, right? So I've been reading this book. This book is called The Body Keeps the Score. It's by Bessel van der Kolk, MD. It's a I don't know if it's a he or she. I think it's a she. It's a doctor. It's an amazing book. It speaks about trauma and how they happen and how the body stores it as well as how to release it out of your body. It's an amazing book. It's highly recommended by many psychiatrists and therapists and doctors. I think everyone should listen to it, should read it or listen if you have the Audible or whatever, because it's definitely helping me, get through my
cope with
stuff.
your issues.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to say cope with my issues. I want to say process my issues, right? Because when you say cope, oh, I'm just coping, it's like you're hugging onto it. Like
Mm.
it's like a wild animal that it's like, oh yeah, I'm just holding it. It's I'm holding it right. It's not bugging that much, but that's not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to cope. We're trying to release. We're trying to process and get it out of us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that book has a good way to help you get rid of that stored trauma in your body.
Absolutely. Aisha, you got any final remarks for everybody that tuned in
Yes.
for us?
If you have any problem, any issues, any depression that you're going through, and you need to speak and you need to talk to someone, seek help. Get someone, even if it's a random person, but don't leave things inside of you because it's gonna just eat you alive, and then you're not gonna be able to smile and be happy as you want to be. Like it's yeah. I'm telling you this, but I'm learning now that you know what is the problem gonna be there. Let me just face it, let me cry about it, and it is what it is. Because at the end now, you have to enjoy life, live life, because life is not a promise. Tomorrow is not a promise. We're here
That's
today.
right.
Tomorrow is not a promise.
Ache.
Ache,
You know,
ache, yeah.
and we have to enjoy it. And listen, I know it's hard to say I'm sorry if you do something wrong, but if you feel that you need to say that sorry because you're missing that best friend, you're missing that mom, you're missing that sister, that friend, go for it. Go for it, because you know what? If you don't do it now, and let's say tomorrow that person is not here, you're gonna regret it.
Yeah, they say pride is one of the
Absolutely.
seven deadly sins, right?
You're gonna regret it. And now love yourself. Love yourself so much that you could be able to love the whole world without thinking and people gonna judge you, because people gonna look at you one way or the other,
Ache,
wrong or right. So just
ache,
love. Love to live and live to love and laugh.
ache.
Gotcha. Jay, you got a final
Gee.
remark?
Um, I would say that love the way you love, but don't always expect it back. Everybody loves differently. Everybody loves in their own way. So just be optimistic and open to whichever form someone loves, and don't obligate them to love you the way you want them to love you. But with that being said, live your life. Do not let it outlive you.
Ache.
Gotcha.
Gee.
So I'm gonna say a couple of things real quick. Um, Definitely, look for signs of burnout. People don't realize that's really a thing. You can actually burn out.
Well, facts.
You will lose interest in pretty much everything. Your work, your ambitions. So definitely, look for signs of burnout. Look for signs of anxiety, depression. Um, Find what's gonna make you happy, whether it's talking to someone, whether it's laying in the ocean like a log.
That facts, bro.
you
La
know,
chiva. I'm going back.
you know,
Well, you're gonna have to wait for next year because it's cold right
um,
now.
Word, word.
if
Not in
it's
PR though.
that, if it's yoga, meditation,
Mhm.
guided meditation, definitely something good. Realigning your chakras, Reiki.
That works.
These are all things I've done that they've personally helped me. What else? Dancing, singing, doing this. Believe it or not, just doing this, being able to speak to all you guys
I was
here
gonna
who are
say doing
tuning
what?
in.
You use all these points for your closing statement, bro. We could
Yeah,
have.
Really?
yeah, yeah,
You should go
yeah.
to. You should open your own clinic.
Yo, word. Dancing is a mega one.
I
Um,
love dancing and
and
singing.
I would say probably another big one, I guess, was at one point in time, the into the physical side. I actually did like the mixed martial arts. Definitely helped me a lot. Gym, exercising, running, cold water baths. I mean, I just want to give you guys like different options, a couple little different lists, in one place. Also, ready?
Oh, be careful.
This is that music to listen to when you meditate. It's amazing. Yo, there's healing energies in those frequencies.
Yes, it is.
Yo,
That was fire.
OP. Do it with the water. That's when you know you're a pro. Definitely one of the biggest things for me was the singing bowl. Shout out to Seafield because I definitely got that from that. And it was good. It was good. It was definitely good. So definitely check out singing bowls, man. You never know. This might be a
Word.
thing.
Before you close out, though, I want to read this comment by Amanda Francisca MC. She said, "Meditation is medicine to our spirit and even to our body at a cellular level. We have the ability to reset and heal,"
That's
which
true.
is absolutely the truth
Yes.
right there.
Ache.
And everybody that's
Super
watching us,
chévere, Amanda.
everybody that's watching us, bendiciones, santo,
Watching
malaikum,
and
salam
tuning in.
aleikum. Gracias por estar con nosotros. We love you a lot. And just, stay tuned with us. And it's going to get better. It's going to get better little by little, more
It's
organized and
already
things
getting
like
better.
that. And, just hang in there.
So with that being said, as always, this is Unity Meets Diversity, El Igualito Unity's very own podcast. We're here for you guys. This is your podcast just like as much as ours. If you guys want to come on the show, please reach out at Igualito Unity on all platforms. We're here. We want to be that bridge that unites our communities. We need it. There's a lot of things going on in life, and it's definitely a moment that we need to come together and get a sense of community. So, as always, love you all. Have a blessed night. Please tune in on the next episode. Deuces.
Yeah, love, peace, and hair grease, and live life intentionally.
And just know that we are here. If you want to come and fix any issues, any problem, come and Unity Meet Diversity. This is your second host, Aisha Omiralde. Que la bendición de Yamaya y de todos los santos esté con ustedes.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Peace.